This week on DohMance Dawn, we have 3 stories. The first, we're going to be looking at a daughter left at a nursery school attempting to save a life that is like her own. In our second act, we're going to be looking at pirates questioning what is a hero and what is expected of them. And in our third act, we are going to be looking at a robot and finding what that robot says about us and what we see in that robot. This is DohMance Dawn. I am Luke Hare. He, him, sometimes they, them. I'm joined this week by my co-host Janine Juliet. She, they. Hello, Janine.
Hello, my name is Janine Juliet. My pronouns are she, they, and I don't have a third thing to say. I would just rather listen to whatever the hell you're doing right now.
We have acquired funding through our Patreon, where you can join as little as $1 a month. But if you pay up to $10 a month, that is $10 every month for 12 months in a year, you will get access to comics that I have made, as well as early episodes of this podcast. Listeners who are interested in supporting this can go to patreon.com/LukeHare. That's LukeHerr.com. Let's get to our first segment. The stories that we are covering today initially came out between June 10th and July 29th of the year 2012. The segment of The Simpsons that we have this week is The Longest Daycare, which was a Simpsons short, the first of its type, that was released in front of an Ice Age film. In this, Maggie Simpson, a young human child, is brought to a daycare where she is seen as not being gifted by a cruel and Randian society, where she is put amongst the dullest and most violent, including a recurring baby known as Gerald, who enjoys smashing butterflies. Maggie finds a caterpillar and seeks to provide it a escape from this cruel cycle. This caterpillar, under her protection, under her aegis, some might say, is allowed to fully exit its chrysalis, going through a process that typically takes several months. And while the baby Gerald believes that he kills it by trapping it, a ironic reversal of the window of freedom becoming a guillotine, Maggie reveals that she sacrificed her bow, a sign of her own identity, to allow this caterpillar turned butterfly, a blue butterfly, to escape on her head, taking the place of her bow. Not necessarily an ersatz bow, but something very different. This was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Animated Short.
I am a little bit scared right now because we've reached a very interesting part in the bit where you've gone so far that you have to keep on going. And also, there could have been a moment where I could have stopped you, but also I had to let you keep going out of curiosity if you could keep going without being stopped. But I am right now mercifully, if you would like to stop and get off this bit, this is your exit right now, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to have the willpower to get another stop after this.
It lost to Paperman at the 85th Annual Academy Awards. New characters introduced in this include Honest Bunny, Lice, a glue-eating baby, Raggedy Ayn Rand, and the Drum Monkey. Act 2. The episodes of One Piece that we are covering today are 551 through 557. These include the decisive battle begins at Joncord Plaza.
Shocking confession. The truth of Odahime's assassination.
Shirahoshi's tears. Finally, Luffy's appearance.
Big clash. Straw Hat Pirates versus 100,000 opponents.
Explosive move. Zoro and Sanji sally forth.
First showing Sunny's secret weapons.
Iron Pirate. Entry of Frankie Shogun.
I can't shake the robot voice.
We reconnect with a lot of the characters because we had been traveling into the past in the past episodes, finding about the makeup of Fishman Island. We find out that since Shirahoshi has turned down Vanderdecken, he has decided that he is going to kill everyone because she does not love him. Hody Jones, meanwhile, the Fishman terrorist, has been transformed by the energy pills that have increased his power and given him a shock of white hair. Hody arrives at the plaza and starts attacking the soldiers with his army of Sea Kings, along with his commanders, and locks up the guards that are there for execution. That's when Jinbei, having stopped Luffy, who was refusing to listen to his warnings, takes off with Shirahoshi on Megalo, her pet shark, to try and prevent more disasters, but Shirahoshi ends up getting them trapped shortly after. One remaining soldier prepares to blow himself up in the plaza with explosives, but Hody uses his new strength to not only kill him, but to also destroy several buildings across Fishman Island. When the three princes do arrive, they find their soldiers knocked out, and Neptune warns them that Hody is stronger. Undeterred, Prince Fukaboshi calls out Hody for his cowardice before charging with his brothers, but they are easily defeated after Hody and his men take more energy steroids. At the DohMance Dawn Network, we would like to remind you that we do not endorse using any drugs, including energy steroids. Hody plans to kill Shirahoshi when the Straw Hats show up, declaring that he has 30,000 human slaves and 70,000 fishman warriors, an army of 100,000 people strong enough to take on any other army. How do you feel about that number, Janine? Do you believe that is large enough to take down anyone?
I don't know. I mean, we have yet to see the full power of the Straw Hat crew post time skip. Sure, individually they have had different trials that they have gone on against, but working as a team after so many years apart, are we going to see some people stepping on each other's toes?
Perhaps. That is when Madame Charlie, the fortune-telling mermaid, shows up to tell everyone more about her vision of destruction, that a human will end up saving Fishman Island. In response, Hody shoots Madame Charlie, revealing that even though Arlong, his hero, is her brother, he doesn't care about her legacies or anything. Longtime listeners will remember I mentioned that she had a family member we had seen in the past.
Holy shit, there's no family resemblance.
As we've seen, Fishman genetics are freaky deaky.
That's true.
Hody reveals that in the past he had paid a human pirate to burn the signatures that were collected for Queen Otohime while he shot the queen and then blamed it on the human whom he killed. This is when Princess Shirahoshi reveals that she knew the truth the entire time. Megalo, her pet shark, had witnessed what happened, but because her mother asked her children to not hold a grudge against her murderer, she kept it a secret. Hody then shoots Neptune with more water pistol blasts, and he drops his crown. Do you have any comments on this revelation? I believe last time you had said, well, obviously, we couldn't trust what we had seen, and we could not trust Hody Jones in the past. Did this surprise you?
Honestly, not at all. The only thing that had surprised me was that this in itself was also another double cross, as this was a mercenary that was hired on by Hody Jones to do this, only to then be murdered for basically like half the pay. It's
I believe, as the Greeks once said, the wages of sin are death,
yeah.
and you can't collect money if you are dead.
I can't argue that.
Vanderdecken, meanwhile, went to the massive ship called Noah in the Fishman district, which the Fishman had made in the past for an unknown purpose, and he uses his hand to send it after Princess Shirahoshi. Back in the plaza, the kids ask Charlie when Luffy is going to destroy the island because they no longer wish to be part of a broken kingdom ruled by Hody Jones, and the civilians start to call for Luffy to show up while Hody prepares to execute King Neptune. Hody gets distracted as Megalo starts thrashing about before he spits Luffy out, who kicks Hody in the gut, sending him through a rock formation. Jinbei calls for the other Straw Hats to come out, with Nami revealing that she stole the invitation from the Celestial Dragons to come to the next summit, while Robin got the keys to the locks. That's when the Thousand Sunny flies in and releases a Gowon cannon blast, knocking out the rest of the army before Hoei swims in to rescue Neptune and the princes as the Straw Hat crew reunites in the plaza. This is when we flash back to see that Jinbei explained that Luffy could not just charge in and instigate things. He would need to arrive when he would become a hero, which Luffy rejects because he doesn't want to be a hero. He's a pirate. Heroes have to share food, and Luffy does not want to share food. How did he feel about this revelation?
I feel that the ability to still hold on to that selfishness, that vice, being the one thing that Luffy would allow himself, it does feel very on brand, but you do get the sense that maybe it's more malleable because this is just what he has to say for this moment. He's going to justify it any silly way that he can in any direction. He's a rubber man.
I think that
Like, how'd he get like that?
we did see that growing up, he had to fight for every bit of survival that he could. He was raised amongst thieves. He was raised in a jungle that was actively trying to kill him. I think there is a truth where what he sees as being heroic can also be corrupted by seeing a world where the Marines, especially his grandfather, Monkey D. Garp, a hero of the Navy, the hero of the Navy, is an enemy. So therefore, not wanting to be a hero could also make sense that way.
Wrong, yo ho ho, he took a bite of gum gum.
His name's Zolo. He's like a samurai. And for an LADY, Nami's not shy. Gotta go. Gotta go. Oh. Meanwhile, Brook got Papagu, the starfish man, to return Zoro's swords back, and he was able to cut through the palace itself, freeing the captured members of the Straw Hats before they reunited with the rest of the crew. Luffy, understanding that Shirahoshi kept the secret about Hody, decides to call her Weepy Hoshi instead as a sign of respect instead of just crybaby. Hody rises from the rocks that he was forcibly pushed into and declares that he will kill all of the other kings at the World Summit and then enslave every human as the king of fishmen, the humans, and the pirates with his army of 100,000. Luffy then walks towards Hody's army and uses his Supreme King Haki to take out half of them instantly. Thanks to a lot of racist rhetoric, the rest of the army is still ready to fight, as Sanji and Zoro start getting ready to compete to find out who can knock out the most people. Luffy makes a third-gear giant pistol and smashes more of the army as the rest of the crew starts to join in. Hody tries to shoot Shirahoshi during the chaos, but the attack is blocked by Jinbei. Zoro is challenged by the Iron Shell squad, but he is able to slice through their pure iron. When a group of mermen take to the sky, and the sea urchin Spike tries to block Sanji on the ground, he reveals that he learned to skywalk like the CP9 agents and is able to attack the mermen in the sky. I enjoy that we get to see more of the characterization, though it would be better if Sanji was not motivated by queer phobia.
Yeah, that sucks, dog.
Frankie then leads Chopper, Usopp, Nami, and Papagu into the new ship's weapons. He reveals that in the past 2 years, he added new parts of the ship, new docks 5 and 6, along with Dock 4, which has a new item. Dosen orders the fishmen to attack Shirahoshi, and Brook hits them with music, centersing them, and tricks them into shooting their explosives in the air like fireworks before knocking them out. Are you glad that Brook is on their side and is not an evil Irishman vampire?
Are you referring to Michael Morbius?
Wait, have you not seen Sinners, Janine?
Oh, no, yeah. Sorry. I've just seen Morbius more recently than Sinners, okay? We all like different vampire media. My favorite is all of them, especially the bad stuff. Especially the bad stuff.
If you would like to see more vampire media, you should read the script that I wrote called Vampire Girl. It is a toxic Yuri about the worst vampire.
It sounds delightful.
It is. You'll cheer for the main character as well as wanting her to die.
That's fair. Also, this does seem kind of like a weird thing to throw on Brook. I feel like Brook has the most varied of like tricks that he's learned. And I don't know. I was already on board with the fact that, oh, he can run on water and he's got that 3-step hum attack thing.
You take issue with him having a hypnotic sword attack?
Well, that combined with the new devil fruit powers and combined with fucking, I don't know. I guess I just need to know more about like where all of this like stuff is coming from. Is he just like so good at playing music stuff happens?
That is part of it. Music speaks to the soul, does it not?
I guess.
And Brook has a devil fruit that allowed his soul to return to his body. Therefore, he understands the soul more closely and is able to speak to it in dreams, in attacks, to even expel his soul from his body once more. The power is not that he is a reanimated body. The power is that his soul reanimates his body.
Huh.
And then Robin forms massive copies of her legs and stomps on more fishmen. Hot.
That was nice, yeah.
Yes, who does not like a large pair of shapely legs crushing them to death? Frankie then rides out a motorcycle from Channel 4 called the Black Rhino. When another fishman threatens him, Channel 5, the Frankie tank, rolls out and starts firing, and the civilians cheer even more for the Straw Hats. Hody gets fed up and calls for the Kraken to destroy his enemies, but the Kraken is Tsurame. Hody reveals that he had captured the Kraken and brought it back to the Fishman Kingdom and threatens to kill it, so it charges in until Luffy calls out to it and tells Tsurame to stop fooling around and reminds it that they are friends. It holds Luffy up like a friend and then smashes more of Hody's army before Luffy asks Tsurame to protect Shirahoshi. A drunk Hyozu, one of Hody's generals, sees Zoro and Brook and prepares to challenge them as Hyozu is also a swordsman. Chopper and the tank try to go after Daruma, who is able to move quicker than the tank while chewing holes through the ground, and Chopper ends up driving the tank into one of Daruma's pits, followed by Frankie on the Black Rhino. In response, Frankie tosses everyone else out of the hole, and merges the bike and the tank into the Iron Pirate General Frankie, which was inspired by Vegapunk's designs and uses Walpole metal. It has a sword and cannons that are just Frankie shooting from his shoulders. How do you feel about the Iron Pirate Giant Frankie?
I think that it is probably the most thing ever. Like, there's just... I get it. I get the maximalist design. I just...
You aren't feeling it?
something... It doesn't feel like all of those pieces belong together.
It does not seem like a functional transformer in a way that is believable. Would that be a correct summation? Or your issue is more there is a lack of consistent design and styling through it?
I think that's what it is.
The can-shaped body, the orb-shaped arms. I can understand where you might be coming from. Nami, also dismissive of the new weapon, is put on the defensive but uses her new sorcery climb attack to fend off attacks, while Usopp attacks with bamboo that javelins the opposing fishman into the air with his pop greens. Chopper chases after Daruma with his new horn point and shows that now he can automatically shift into any of his other standard forms without the Rumble Ball. Hody threatens Surume's brother in the North Pole if he doesn't kill Shirahoshi, and Surume starts to squeeze until Luffy promises Surume to help and protect his brother, and Surume releases Shirahoshi. Luffy approaches Hody and hits him with the second gear, and things seem like they are going well until the crowd sees the massive ship Noah heading towards Fishman Island and the plaza. This is where we end the recap this week. Let's get on to part 3. All right, Janine, we got one character to match. Oh, jeez and cheesel.
You kept it up for a long time.
Yeah, I did. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, that's my This American Life impression.
It's a very good one.
Thank you. I'm going to share my slide of suggestions, 'cause I got 3 of them. Did you prepare 10 of them like I threatened to do, Janine?
No, I just prepared 6.
6? All right, well, let's go over our fan suggestions first. Miles Lobdell on Bluesky suggested the fake Homer robot that he uses to sit at his desk. This is the one with the bucket on the head. Alex K of the One Piece podcast suggested Linguo, and King Atticus suggested Battle Seizure Robot and Lance Murdoch's stunt bike. I also got some support on one of my picks that I'm going to be arguing hard for, but I want to hear your suggestions first.
Okay. So, my Rodrigo style was the butterfly, as we see it move through stages from caterpillar to cocoon to butterfly. You know it, but did you know that maybe 2 vehicles combining together to create a mech could also be a form of metamorphosis? Who knows? I'm not really going to be gunning for that one too hard, but I do have some others. The first one up is Chum, the sad robot that Martin Prince has built. The one that doesn't even want to be Martin Prince's friend.
The one that is turned off by Martin Prince.
Yeah.
Not physically turned off, but is undesiring of more attention from Martin Prince.
I also have Bestimus Mucho.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the transforming robots from the Treehouse of Horror 16?
Yeah. From Untitled Robot Parody. Yeah, it's a forgettable segment. It's the one that is Lisa's Malibu Stacy car.
Yes.
All right.
Next, I have Chief Nakahomer, the juxtaposition between high-powered mech that somehow exists inside of the same universe as Scurvy. Just hilarious.
Hell yeah. And I know you've gone for Chief Nakahomer a few times.
But also consider General Grievous.
I always love to consider General Grievous. Though I would call out that General Grievous is where did you see General Grievous? He is first mentioned in an episode, but his first appearance is The Force Awakens from its nap. Janine, unfortunately, we can't use him yet.
That's fine, because I still have another backup pick.
Uh-huh.
I also chose Linguo. I wasn't going to, but then I saw his face, and now I'm a believer.
Janine, my Rodrigo pick is the drum monkey from The Longest Daycare. My throwback is the award show robot. But an important thing about Iron General Battle Frankie is that it resembles Frankie. Would you agree with that point?
Sure.
And we want something that some people love and some people do not appreciate enough. My suggestion for the Iron Pirate General Frankie is the Big Butt Skinner balloon. This has also gotten support from our artist, Mike Patten. Imagine if our Armentamzarian Frankie goes into that pit, but instead of rising up with a metal fighting robot that, like you said, doesn't necessarily fit, instead you see two yellow orbs rising up, and you think, oh, are those breasts? No, that's a butt. That is a big butt. There's a sign. It says, "Hi, I'm Big Butt Skinner." It starts to pull out a sword. Actually, I think it would use that sign as a sword. And then Skinner's mouth opens, or Armentamzarian just rises between those two butt cheeks and starts shooting guns from his nipples. Is that a world that you would like to live in, Janine? That is a world that our children can dream of. Well, not mine, but
it is a good sign when the artist also is signing off on it, so I'm curious. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Thank you. All right. Well, then our Iron Pirate General Frankie is Big Butt Skinner. All right. That wraps us up for Act 3. This is a nice short episode. Janine, where can you be found online?
Oh, you could find me on Bluesky, JanineJuliet.biscuit.social, or on Instagram, Janine is dope. I also do another podcast, Wrestle Girlies, with my friend Flighty Butt Lass. At updates every... I'll get to it. Nope, I got nothing else to announce. Luke, where can the people find you?
I am Luke. You can find me on Blue Sky or most places online is at Koltreg, Koltreg. By the time you are reading this, I will have probably gotten my shameful active 365 days in a row badge on Reddit. You can also find me on itch.io, or if you look up on Patreon, you can find my name, Luke Herr, Lukeherr. If you have $1 to say, hey, I enjoy this thing that you make, that would be helpful, because I will be real for a moment. We are almost at 100 episodes of this, and we just aren't reaching a bigger audience, and it's one of those things where I've got some other stuff starting up later this year, so if you would like to hear the show continue on, let us know. Tell your friends, because I would like to feel like people appreciate the work that is going on here, and if not, it will fade away like other projects have sometime after episode 100. So, our cover for this episode was done by Mike Patten. You can find it Patten Pending, PATTENPENDING, most places online. Our episode was edited by Andy, who is very busy editing this and other wonderful things. Thank you, Andy. Janine, do you want to say thank you, Andy?
Thank you, Andy.
I'm sorry that I surprised you by going very ASMR for most of this episode. Yeah. And then, DohMance Dawn is the podcast you're listening to or watching on YouTube. Either way, if you enjoy the show, leave a comment. If you enjoy the show, leave a review. If you enjoy the show, join our Discord. Retweet when we post character callouts. I think next episode we're going to have a few new characters. But I also have to start watching One Piece again because... Oh yeah, next week we have one new character. Again.
Wow.
Get excited for that. And thank you for listening to this episode. If you made it this far, congrats for making it over 100 episodes with us. And we'll see you in 2 more weeks. Smooth sailing.